It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where we'll see who can claim Big Apple bragging rights. It's the New York Jets and the New York Giants, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
It's the battle for New York, or New Jersey for that matter. The Giants and Jets are underway. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And not only does he have all the skills that you're looking for as a quarterback, he's incredibly tough and plays the game fearlessly as both a runner and a passer. You provide a good running game around him and let him throw deep off of play action, you've got an all-star in the making.
Now Hall to start the drive. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Here's Fields. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Now Fields. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, you want to make sure that on an opening drive that you at least stay out there for a while and get into the flow of the game. A 3-and-out would have been problematic, but that's a good throw there to ensure they get another set of downs.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now it's Fields. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Again, Fields. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Here's 2nd and 10. Fields now to throw. Throw left side to Reynolds. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 25-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
2nd and 10. Fields. That's into the hands of Reynolds. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. To throw is Fields. Fighting to stay upright. This pass out wide to Hall. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Back to throw. Fields. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So now here are the Giants as they'll get their first opportunity here. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. A perfect example right there, Charles, of why they love this rookie runner.
And think about how the NFL and the college games are meshing together more and more. You don't have to go to the NFL and learn a new set of skills. What you did in college often makes you ready for the NFL.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. Now a 2nd and 6. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 39. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
Robinson hauling it in outright. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a 1st down.
Well, that's one way and a good way to get things going offensively. One play in, and they're already on the move. The defense, they're hoping that's not a sign of things to come as this game unfolds.
On to give, it's Tracy. Will McDonald there on the tackle.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
They go play action with Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Ahmad Gardner finishing off the corner blitz.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. From the gun, it's Wilson. Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete. Now the Jets defense making things difficult there. 4th down.
Tight defense there on 3rd down, but what a product of good coaching and even better execution, because he realized he's in field goal range. No sense forcing anything, and he made sure he didn't.
Gano's kick is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Ball again on 2nd down. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. Running left, it's Hall. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
They'll run with Hall. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
They'll give to Hall. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Can we just take that run and turn it into a kind of a clip and save? Because that tells you everything you need to know about this drive. They've been moving the ball awfully well.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They'll go again with Hall. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll go for it. It's Hall. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
Play action. It's Wilson. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Wilson. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Fields. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Reynolds. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. From the 31, here's a second down and 4. Hall on a give up the middle. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
From the gun, here's Fields. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. These two teams all tied after 1. The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter. A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Looking to throw. Fields. He's got Wilson, and that's a Jets touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown pass, and the Jets have taken the lead.
First and goal, forget running the football, forget establishing anything. Just put it in the end zone with the pass for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's the definition of catching the defense off guard there. They weren't expecting that.
And that totally goes against type, doesn't it? When you think first and goal from the 1, you're thinking running play.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So that drive, 4 plays. And Garrett Wilson capped things off with a touchdown grab. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start with a run by Tracy. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
They'll go again with Tracy. Past the 20. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. 79 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. So down inside the 5-yard line, I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
Now it's Wilson. This is caught. Touchdown, Giants. Daniel Bellinger from 3 yards out. And the Giants are an extra point away from drawing level. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Now Wilson. Buying time to... And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Russell Wilson punching it in from a yard away. And the Giants are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
He didn't originally want to run, but he didn't see anything in the passing game, so he scrambled, and wouldn't you know it, he scores a touchdown anyway. It's awfully nice to have a quarterback who can make things happen with his legs.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Second down and 6 now. Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
From the gun on third down, Fields. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their third drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This is brought in at the 21. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. And the momentum just continuing to build and build for them. They had the touchdown, their last drive to tie the game. Now their defense does its job, and Charles, all of a sudden, they've got a chance to capture the lead here.
And we're seeing a really nice exhibition of what coaches love to call complementary football. Offense gets a tie, defense does its job, gets the ball right back, and their teammates now have momentum. What a nice job they're doing, all doing it together.
Here's Wilson to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. It was Quincy Williams with a tight coverage there.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
On 4th down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Jets will take over. New York set to take the field. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Straight ahead is Hall. Powerful running. And down he goes just beyond the 35. And that pretty move got him some extra space to run. 46 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
But this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Fields. That's complete right side to Lazard. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. And hang on here. We've got an injured player, and that's the running back, Breece Hall. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. From the 31, here comes 2nd and a yard. Here's Fields. He'll get this to Nwangu. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
Here's Allen. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
That run wasn't a big breaker, but I don't think the guys on offense mind very much. They've got a nice drive going, and they might just be luring the defense in a little bit. They could probably come back with a play action, maybe go over the top. But right now, on this drive, their playbook is open.
Now it's Fields. He finds his man, complete. That's Reynolds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. Fields now to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Jets are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
A first carry here for Kene Nwangu. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Fields. He's got it. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. Out of the gun, Fields. Flushed out, and he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Justin Fields taking it in from a yard out, and the Jets are going to take the lead. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Zerline good with a PAT, and that makes it a 17-10 score. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it was all capped off by the Justin Fields touchdown run. He took it in himself. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And now out come the Giants. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing is Wilson. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 39. 23 yards the pickup there.
This one was all about clearing space for this play to work because he's going to leak out of the backfield to his right and then angle his way up the field. And a really pretty throw to put it on him and create the big play downfield.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
To throw is Wilson. Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. Here's Wilson. That is caught. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Here's Wilson. That's to the pylon and incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
This Jet defense so far standing tall. They need another stop now, 3rd and goal. Now it's Wilson. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Malik Neighbors, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you got a brand new ball game. Gano now to add the extra point. And he gets it to go, and we're all even, 17 apiece. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. (17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Jets offense and quarterback Justin Fields heading back out there. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. Back to throw. Fields. That one tipped and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. It's 2nd down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. To throw is Fields. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. This is taken at about the 14. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here heading to break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Giants offense set to begin this third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
106 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Ball on the 39. Here's second and a yard. Now Wilson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Wilson. That's complete. It's Neighbors. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now it's Wilson. There's a short one caught by Johnson. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be second down. Running left is Tracy. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Tracy going to get it on first down. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. Second and 6.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their number one goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that. And that really chips away at your confidence.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. Right back to Tracy. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down. Now Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Yeah, and on third down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He's got Slayton on the slant. And the Giants are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on fourth down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Here's Tracy. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Here's Wilson to throw. This is caught. It's Robinson with a Giants touchdown. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Giants have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Gano for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it was finished up by a touchdown catch from Wan'Dale Robinson. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Give him a little extra credit there. His head was cool as the play broke down. Didn't force a throw, and in the end, got to show off his athleticism with a nice gain to bring up a new set of downs.
On first down, they'll run with Nwangu. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle, but give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
2nd and 9 from the 44. They'll run with Allen. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Here's Fields. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage, and that time they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Here's the Jets punter now as he's on here to punt it away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The home team's offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. The tackle by Quincy Williams.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
And with the way things have gone so far tonight, I figured this was going to be a touchdown because he's wide open. But instead, the ball's laid out just a bit too far, and they come up empty.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Again, Wilson. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped them there, but not to be.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
On to give, it's Tracy. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action, but other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Bellinger hauls it in out left side. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
130 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or two in this situation.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Make it a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Giants are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Gano now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Fields now to throw. Got his man, it's Warren. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the fourth quarter. A shotgun snap, Fields. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Now Allen. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Out of the gun, Fields. Throw left side to Reynolds. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Give left side here for Nwangu. 20! And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 41 yards. So close. Couldn't get all the way in, knocking on the doorstep down to the 1. Nevertheless, fantastic run.
Not only that, this is where you wave to your replacement, go back to the bench. No way. I'm not coming out of this game. I got it down to the 1-yard line. I want to carry it in.
We'll see if they reward him on this next play. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Josh Reynolds, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Jets have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Zerline now for the PAT. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Now they nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. The sack by the linebacker, Jamin Davis. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. They'll hand it to Tracy. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Flush to his right. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
Now that's a killer because you think you get it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a 1st down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looked like, you're exactly right. Looked like a for sure stop on 3rd, and then the tables turned. On the ground, here comes Tracy. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. Only able to gain a couple there. 3rd and 7 now. Throwing is Wilson. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
It's getting cold in here, partner, because it looks like he's trying to ice this one away. Yeah, I know, bad dad joke, but what the heck, right? Scrambling for that first after the D blanketed his receivers, that's a backbreaker for the defense. They finished this drive off with 6, and this one could be over.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the run is Tracy. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They work now on 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Tracy, and he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Now this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Wilson. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to make it a 2-score game. Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Time for another drive here for this Jets offense. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Fields. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
Fields. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 47. To the air again, Fields. He finds his man, complete. That's Warren. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll run with Hall. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive linemen, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. From the 25, here's 2nd and 3. Here's Fields. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. A play fake, now Fields to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bobby Okereke running in and bringing him down.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Connection made to Ruckert. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Giants are going to get the football back. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
They'll start with a run by Tracy. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They'll go again with Tracy. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 1st down, Giants on a pickup of 14. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. On 1st down, Tracy. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll keep it on the ground. Tracy. And he is going to have a New York 1st down, and the Giants are going to win the football game. And we'll see if the defense wants to stop it as they take the knee. the middle they go. Tracy, after getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November. Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So it's a win here for the Giants, and it was thanks largely due to the play of the quarterback, CD, a guy who's been doing it for a while, and that's Russell Wilson.
Yeah, he was definitely the X factor. He had 3 touchdown passes, ran for another, and really had this defense grasping for straws throughout much of this ball game.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From MetLife Stadium, good night, everybody.